It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
The wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
And that's how it sounded on ABC last night. Sean McDonough with the call. The Florida Panthers, for the first time in franchise history, are Stanley Cup champions. And boy, what an iconic series I feel like that was. Welcome in, everybody. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the over 65,000 subscribers on this platform, hit the like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports, tell a friend about us. Braylon Edwards, great to be with you. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Great to be back with my man, Ryan Ermanni. Can't wait to hear about that trip up north. Unfortunately, I called it. I said the Florida Panthers were going to win when we first started the playoffs. Maz and I talked about it. But you didn't want them to win. We wanted Edmonton to win. We wanted Ken Holland to get his Stanley Cup outside of the Red Wings. But 2-1 is the score he called yesterday on the show, and it was 2-1 just in favor of the Florida Panthers. Time, Maz, how you doing, brother?
Man, that was so good.
Yeah.
I hate that it's over, but I was so happy. And my daughter Lily, she buckled in, watched the whole damn game with me. Kathy came in for the third period. I was on the edge of my seat. I was standing up. You see Bobrovsky without his stick, squirming around like a snake.
All over the place.
The Oilers are peppering him. And they could not get that equalizer. And then they showed Ken Holland upstairs about a minute to go. He's just there pensive looking, and I felt my heart was bleeding for him. But I'm happy on the other end for Florida. The Panthers, 30 years in existence. They've been knocking on the door, Bray, how many times?
Yeah,
it's their third time in the Stanley Cup final. Third time's a charm. And Paul Maurice could be my new favorite coach in all of sports.
And we'll get to that in a minute. I would like to explore something with you. So Maz sends a text to Braylon and I last night and says classic.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And in that, I think the series was a classic. I think the game was a classic. Everything about it was awesome. But then I said, I'm really rooting for the Oilers, because how great has Ken Holland been to this show and us?
I love Ken.
He legitimately came on yesterday when he had about 5 hours to get ready for Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah. And just the great player that Connor McDavid is, the whole story, and I know we're here in America, but Canada and hockey means
that's our brother.
And I understand that. But I say I'm really rooting for the Oilers here. It's 1-1 at this time, I think. 1-1. Maz says, I want Florida so bad.
He did say that.
And I'm like, it's fine. It's good. But why? It's not like I want the Rangers to win so bad, or I want the Islanders to win so bad.
I didn't say so bad. I said I want the Panthers to win.
Okay, well, either way.
I've been rooting for them the whole time.
Why, though? I don't understand.
Because I root for teams that haven't won.
Okay.
30 years in existence.
I'm just asking the question. I'm not busting your balls.
No, that's fine. And as much as I love Ken Holland, I'm not an Oilers fan.
Right.
I'm not. McDavid, great player, fantastic. Mm-hmm. The rest of his team kind of let him down. Let's face it, Draisaitl was shut down. He wore the goat horns.
Draisaitl helped get him to game 6-7, though.
That's
Draisaitl
fine.
Came up big in 6. But to your point,
I'm just saying, I wanted the Panthers to win. I felt bad for them. I didn't want them to wear the moniker of the biggest loser, like the Atlanta Falcons have to keep.
Right.
They have to wear that. And to go down 3-0, to be up 3-0, and to lose a series, you can't shake that, man. They would never shake that. And I was happy for Paul Maurice, who I've just been falling in love with. And as you can see, we'll play some sound from him. The guy is true blue, man. It's hard not to root for this guy.
Well, and this is one of the reasons why right now he lifts the cup after 1,985 games, spent more than half his life pursuing that cup. Paul Maurice capped off his 26th season as an NHL head coach by winning the prize trophy for the first time 10,457 days after making his league debut.
I was going to say, I sent in a crazy stat I was looking at. I saw this earlier. I came across it, I should say. Corey Perry,
Yeah.
plays for. Oh, there it is. Look at this.
I got you, my
Pete's
friend.
on it, man.
I got you, my
Corey Perry plays for the Edmonton Oilers. His Stanley Cup journey in the last 5 years, man, has been crazy. As you see right here, man, he lost in 2020 in the Cup final. He lost in 21, same way. 22, same way. 23, he lost to the Leafs. And then this year, he lost in the Cup final.
All different teams.
This guy's got to get one. Like, what do you do if you're Corey Perry and you go home? I just don't know where your mental is
I think
today.
he won one in 08.
I thought he won one with the Ducks.
Yeah.
He won in 08, but
And
the last
then the
5 years.
5 years. Can you imagine? But I'm a losing
He's paid
team.
for that win.
He has.
You know, this guy could have 6 cups.
I know.
You're not
Well,
lying.
Mark Messier has 6 cups.
And lost
I can't
how many?
believe it. I mean, I looked
Well,
him up. I'm
5
like,
with the Oilers, right?
yeah, 5 with the Oilers,
Yeah.
1 with the Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you get 4 in a row in the 80s, it kind of is a good springboard. You're ahead of the curve,
Right.
if you will.
But Maz mentioned Paul Maurice. I have not been able to stop watching videos of this guy all morning long because I think his interview on the ice with ESPN was tremendous. You could see the sheer emotion that he had when he's doing an interview with ESPN ABC, and then they bring the cup over to him. Take a look.
Describe your emotions right now.
I can't. I don't know what. Oh, hang on for a second. We got a visitor. Here you go.
Alongside Paul Maurice. Paul, you said you needed to win one, and you've got one now. So what's it feel like?
It's just brilliant, right? I've never hugged so many sweaty men in my entire life. I'm not sure I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do it tonight. So, you know what? It's not what I thought it would be. It's so much better, but it's the hugs, man. I saw Sam Bennett smile today. First time in 2 years. It's brilliant. You know, it's for my mom and dad in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. My brothers Mike and Shane in Sault Ste. Marie and Waterloo. The whole Anglois clan in LaSalle, Ontario. All of the people that suffered through 30 years of me losing, making excuses. Mom and dad especially. Hey, Dad, your name's going up with your heroes. Belleville, Richard, Hal, Lindsay, Maurice.
Last one for you. After your time in Winnipeg, you were prepared for a career in fishing, but I wonder if there is a better catch than Lord Stanley.
Well, I was just lucky. You know what? It was. So if I could have one thing more, it'd be for the Winnipeg Jets to win the next Stanley Cup.
Paul, congratulations.
Thanks, Scott.
Wow.
That is
Wow.
just brilliant.
He's rooting for his
Former
ex-team
Yeah.
to win a Stanley Cup.
You know, I mean, there's so many layers to talk about there. First of all, it's picking up with Winnipeg. Just have you ever heard a coach in any sport say that about his former team? 1, and 2, even I get a little emotional now just talking about the journey, the family.
Yeah.
Your name, Dad, is going to go on the Stanley Cup with Howe, Lindsay, Maurice. You know, unbelievable.
I think you want to get men choked up. It's when you see men talk about their fathers. I think that always is a go-to if you want to see guys get choked up, man. Happy for Paul Maurice. We talked about him after they lost Game 6, man, as I believe we had him, or we didn't have him on. But we saw the interview.
Yeah.
You knew he was a great guy, great coach, great person. And instantly I said, you know what, this is my first time really paying attention to Paul Maurice. I'm rooting for this guy. I wanted Edmonton to win, but I actually was rooting for Paul Maurice, man. Super happy. He talked about the names. You heard one of those names, How, and it's very interesting that, and this came from DJ Tom T. Appreciate you for always listening. He said Paul Maurice started as coach of the Detroit Junior Red Wings.
Really?
Detroit Junior Red Wings. And here he is hosting Lord Stanley. Watching people lift up trophies, whether it's the World Series, whether it's the Larry O'Brien, whether it's Lord Stanley, or whether it's the Lombardi Trophy. It's the one thing, man, I just wish I could have done in my career. I wish I could have either got the crystal ball in the NCAA, or I wish I could have got that Lombardi Trophy, because when you lift that trophy up, I think in those moments, Ryan, it's so much that comes into those moments. You remember how you got into the job, whether you're a coach or whether you're a player. You remember the hard times. You remember the good times. You remember when you were knocking at the door and not quite, being able to open the door. But when you lift that trophy up for the first time, it's kind of like a sigh of relief. And I think that's what we saw in Paul Maurice. When he lifted it up, he had his head down. That was a sigh of relief. Yeah.
He's unbeaten in Game 7s, by the way. Add that to his resume as well. I think he's 5-0. And what he did with this team, he kept them steady. They got their butts beat, 18-3 in 3 games. Yeah. 18-3. And to come back and play a 2-1 hockey game, and Sergei Bobrovsky, I take my hat off to you. I thought they were going to pull him in Game 6, and we're never going to see him again. 2-time Vezina winner. He'll win it again this year, or he should. He stood on his head, man, last night. He won that. He should have been the Conn Smythe winner, if you ask me.
Yeah, and for the first time since 1976, the Conn Smythe winner goes to a skater from a different team, the team that lost. And look, Connor McDavid was brilliant.
Fantastic.
He is an incredible player and was the best player, I think, in the playoffs. I've got no problem with it, other than it does feel a bit weird that the Conn Smythe winner doesn't belong to the Stanley Cup champion.
0 points in Game 6 and 7, just saying.
Let you know what he did leading up to that. He definitely was. I mean, he's the reason why the Edmonton not only was in the finals, but they had a shot to win it.
No doubt.
Connor McDavid's the best player in hockey. I think he proved it. It was good that we finally got a chance to see him on a national scale. I think hockey fans know how good Connor McDavid is, but finally, now to get him in the Stanley Cup, you get to see him for 7 games, see how good he was, man. It was about time. I'm happy for him, but came up a little short.
No doubt. Just getting back to Paul Maurice for a minute. When you talk about lifting that trophy, he first bent down to the trophy, and he was talking to it. And he said when he got back to the interview, the reporter for ESPN,
Emily Kaplan.
Yeah, I don't know her name. What is it?
Emily Kaplan.
Emily Kaplan. She said, "What did you say to the cup?" And I wanted to let her know how difficult she was to chase.
He's so damn good.
It is, I wanted to let her know just how difficult she was to chase, but I finally caught up to her. And then he said he closed his eyes. When he lifts the cup initially, he said, "I don't know if I'll ever be able to remember what it was like, but I wanted to close my eyes and remember how heavy it was, what the weight felt like." He's like, "I will be able to remember that when I close my eyes."
That cup has gotten the hell beat out of it already. It's already been in the ocean.
Yeah, it's already been in the ocean. It's already been to
the elbow room. The elbow room.
Pouring beer down the balcony.
Okay.
Into fans and all that stuff. So it was great.
Ryan Ermanni, you're on the clock. Where are you taking Stanley Cup if you win it? If you were playing professional hockey, you won the Stanley Cup. Where is it coming with Ryan Ermanni, Paul?
Probably take it to the bathroom with me.
Okay.
I probably make some tabbouleh.
Okay.
And eat some tabbouleh out of the cup.
I like it. Is it making it to Grosse Pointe South?
It would go to Grosse Pointe South, absolutely.
I like that.
Grosse Pointe South Stadium.
Tom Aswell.
Yeah.
I'm eating a bowl of Lucky Charms out of it. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Pouring like a half a gallon of milk in it, maybe more than that, in that cup. And then, of course, St. Clair Shores is gonna take that thing up and down Jefferson.
Yeah.
KG, what's up, brother?
Everywhere. I'm going to just throw it in the car, throw the seatbelt on it. If I go to Burger King, I'm going to pop out with it. If I stop at the gas station, I'm going to pop out with it. I take it everywhere.
Pete?
Biggest bowl of macaroni and cheese you ever saw in your life, I guarantee on that. But I'd take it to see Dad, man. I would drive it to New York and take it to see Dad.
That's fantastic. One of the things, too, about like a series like that is you do project just some of your own memories when the Red Wings went. Like I thought about, there was a moment last night in the game where it's 2-1. I think there was about 4 minutes to go in the game, and I don't know who the player for Florida was, but a player for Florida was streaking down the ice with the puck, and it wasn't like a breakaway or anything like that, but it
was Kulikov.
Kulikov streaking down the ice, and I had a flashback to Darren McCarty in 1997 just to put the capper on it, and it didn't work out, but I was thinking about those moments that you have as a Red Wings fan of 1997 specifically. That was the first year the Red Wings had won the Cup, and I kind of related that to Florida's first time ever winning the Cup to
We won it in the afternoon, right?
in Detroit.
Yeah.
No.
Heck,
was
no,
night.
that was a
The
night
night.
game.
Oh, that was a night
Yeah,
game.
that was a night game. I'll never forget it.
We won one game in the afternoon then. That period, that season.
I don't
Look it up.
know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I just remember
Tom
winning the Cup.
Mazaway with a rare foul.
Yeah,
It's not like you, sir.
I held
Are
that
you
cup,
okay?
I held that cup coming off the
You
ice in
okay?
'97.
really.
They brought it to
Man's
us in
never
our
been
little studio. I have a picture of myself with that thing. I could have sworn that was an afternoon game.
That is fantastic. One of the great moments. Are you okay, Tom?
Check his temperature.
I'm okay.
One of the great things about the job that I have, I feel so blessed. When the Red Wings won the Cup in Pittsburgh in 2008, I was in the dressing room when they had it there, and the champagne was spraying.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Did you touch it? Paul?
oh gosh, absolutely. I actually had an empty bottle of champagne that I brought back with me. There's empty bottles of champagne all over the place. I brought it back. I don't know what happened to that bottle of champagne, but I did have it in my basement for a long time. It's one of the images I'll never forget. Guys like Kirk Maltby in 97 when, you're single and you've got no kids.
Yeah.
And then in 2008, and you're on the ice with your kids. That was such a different celebration from 97
No doubt.
to 2008. It was, here's these young guys, essentially, that are single. Now in 2008, they all win it, and they all have families. And, in 97, it's just the guys.
Yeah.
In 2008, it's all the wives and all the kids and everything.
Way different,
like
man.
that. It was just such a way different experience.
And,
You share. And that's one of the things I noticed about the NBA celebration, too. Like when the
true.
Boston Celtics won it, I thought back to the Pistons, right? I mean, the Pistons, when they won it on the court anyway, and they have changed some of these celebrations to put them on the court because the locker rooms in the NBA and so many other are just so small, you can't get everybody in there. Yeah. But on the court, it was the players back when the Pistons won it. And now it was all the different players were celebrating with their individual families and all the people that got them there. And that's great because it is a journey to get there, but there was very little interaction with each other.
Is it just me, or does it seem like the Golden State Warriors kind of ushered in that family celebrating, and it's, at least in the NBA, kind of like uphill? Because when I think of the Golden State Warriors, all I can think about is Riley. That's Steph's youngest, and then I guess she's as old as now. But Riley, the press conferences, Draymond Green's kids were there. Like, that's all I can remember when the Golden State Warriors started winning, and I don't really remember it before them.
Well, I mean, like Jordan was the epitome of
his
it. Jordan's dad was in the locker room, every step of the way until his untimely death. But that's some of the images that I have. I mean, even I remember when the Pistons won it in 89 or 90, Scott Hastings, while everybody was, and shows you how old I am. I don't know if anybody's going to remember this, but all the Pistons players are in the locker room, spraying champagne and having fun, and Scott Hastings is sitting in the hallway in the corridor with all the wives, with all the players' wives, and it was fantastic. Scott Hastings, by the way, analyst for the Denver Nuggets, because that's where he played a majority of his career.
In 2009, I remember being at the Joe and 2-1 game. And I brought it up to Lily last night. I'm like, man, Lil, to be on the other side of 2-1 is really painful. And how close Nick Lidstrom came to tying that game up with about 2 seconds to go. Remember the clock ticking down and the net was open? He just could not get it past, I forgot who was in net.
Fleury.
Yeah, Theo Fleury.
Theo.
And that hurt. That one hurt because that would have been back-to-back. And that was at home. That was a hell of a game, man.
It was so funny, and I don't remember the breakdown of the series, but I remember Game 6 at Pittsburgh and Game 7 in Detroit because I went back to Pittsburgh, and this time, understanding what I did in 2008, I'm like, oh, the Wings are for sure beating the Penguins, and we're going to have another celebration like we did the year before.
Not so fast.
So I brought the crappiest suit I could ever wear because my suit got ruined the year before.
Champagne, celebrations.
I don't care what anybody says. That never comes out. It's ruined, okay?
Got to frame it.
Which is fine, right? I wish I would have framed it. So that Game 6, I took the crappiest, cheapest suit that I owned, thinking that we would do it.
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
Damn.
So then I came back, and I wore it again. And in Game 7,
So that crappy
Retire that damn thing.
Oh, that thing was thrown out after that. I was
bad
like,
luck suit, man.
Was that a Men's Warehouse?
Oh God, that was worse than Men's Warehouse. I mean, back then I wasn't making any money. You know what I mean?
Was that a Hager? You put them together at Kohl's?
Yeah,
Buy the
right,
slacks,
that
buy
was-
the jacket.
I hated that series, man. That dog freaking Sid the Kid and Halani Malkin. That's Malkin.
forgot,
It
yeah.
seems
Kenny
like
Malkin.
Damn.
Malkin.
I
That's who we
could
used
not
also
stand
in
Marcus. I
Russell.
feel like every time they made a play, every time when the Red Wings were trying to come back Game 6, 7, it was freaking Alani Malkin that made the play or scored the goal or got the assist. So whenever I hear Malkin, I'm ready to fight somebody.
I'm with you, man.
And
Ready to fight
it's one of
somebody.
those, I think Fleury won the cup last year with, he was on the team or was, I don't think he was the
with the
primary
Vegas
goalie with
Knights?
Vegas. But he won the cup last year, and you're like, dang, this guy's still in the league?
Who won last year? Vegas won last year.
Vegas
won
Colorado
last
won a
year.
year before that.
Yeah.
Alabama. Yeah.
But you're like,
Dang.
some of these guys, you ever say, how is this guy still in?
Bobrovsky is old.
Right.
He's got 2 Vezinas already.
That's a hell of a pickup by him, man. You watch him, and you talked about it earlier, Ryan. You got to give Sergei Bobrovsky some more credit, man. Like, they brought him in last year to be the difference. Almost was the difference last year in that finals. This year was the difference. You're talking about 3 games in a row. He decided to show up in Game 7, and they got a chance to win. He was definitely the reason. Whenever he played well, they won in this playoffs, and he showed up at the most important time, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So Sergei Bobrovsky, hell of a series,
Hey.
and hell of a playoffs by him as well.
Now, Ken Holland's on the clock. We asked him yesterday. It was the last question. I'm like, Ken, tomorrow, win, lose, or draw. What happens with you? Contract expires. And he's like, tomorrow, after tonight, tomorrow starts my future. I don't know what's going to happen. So Ken Holland, built that team up. You could say what you want. Connor McDavid was there. Draisaitl was there. But he built that team up, and he got them right where they're supposed to be. He made the coaching change, brought in the right guy. How many streaks did they go on during the year? They never gave up, and they really dominated last night's game and came up short. So Ken Holland's a free agent.
One of the things about last night that I did not understand is, especially, I think there was about 3.5 minutes to go. Edmonton is putting pressure deep in the zone of Florida. Pull the goalie. Like, what are you waiting for? You are controlling the play, and we have seen Edmonton a couple of times this year score goals in that situation. Pull the goal. What do you wait? I think they waited till 1 minute and 12 seconds. You can't do anything. One clear and it's over. I thought they waited way too long to pull the goalie, whether it's 3.5 minutes or give yourself a fighting chance.
Sean said about 3 minutes. He's like, we're going to watch the net and see if they pull Skinner.
Yeah.
He started. He started talking about it at 3 minutes. By the way, how good Sean McDonough?
He did phenomenal. Look, I mean, when you follow an icon, and I think Doc Emmerich was
He's the top.
one
And
of
Bob Cole.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but in this country,
Right.
It is Doc Emmerich. When you follow a guy like that, it is just incredibly impossible to come remotely close or meet the moment.
And he followed Gary Thorne.
Yeah, right. And I just think he did a phenomenal job last night. That call gave me goosebumps, and well done all around.
Yeah, 100%, man. Sean McDonough had him on the show. And I think also, too, we have to take into consideration having him on the show. Talking about that 2,500-mile swing back and forth and back and forth. To be able to have to do that flying-wise, which they said they had to stop and refuel once and do that back and back and back and still have that type of energy, still be on top of the calls throughout the finals is great job by Sean McDonough. He's truly a professional, and he's one of my favorites.
Back in the old days, ABC, NBC, they would pull once the Stanley Cup was given out.
Right.
Remember, they would just go to news.
Right.
They let this thing go to like 11:30 at night, 11:40 at night. I applaud ABC and ESPN for letting us have the entire time. I was like, man, I'm impressed because CBC, they'll go to like 3 a.m. But if you don't have CBC, like me, I'm stuck with DirecTV and they don't have CBC. I was very much happy with ABC's coverage. They did a great job. And I hope it paid off for them because, hockey is not a draw. It's not. We love it, but it's not a draw to the average fan. But they broke a lot of records this year. I hope a lot of people watched that game last night.
No doubt. And I hope now, the Red Wings are in a position where over the next couple of years, they're going to start to contend for that thing because where they've been over the last 6, 7, 8 9 years, really, is pretty unacceptable, I think. And Steve Yzerman is out there working today. Red Wings Twitter account. The Red Wings today acquired a second-round pick in the 2024 NHL draft. It was originally Tampa's. A couple of players as well. Jesse Kiskinen from Nashville in exchange for Andrew Gibson. So I don't know what that means.
Thanks to Dante 151.
What?
Superfan, Dante 151 put that up just now. I thought you were reading Dante Superfan. Is that so?
Yeah, he just put it off.
Dante 151.
Oh, my
Thank
gosh.
you.
Appreciate
That's
you,
great.
Dante.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I heard some murmurs yesterday. I think the Red Wings are eyeing an all-star goalie. What was his name? It'll come to him. Give me a second. But I think they're eyeing a goalie.
Well, the Bruins just traded their starting goalie to Ottawa.
What's his name?
What the heck's his last name?
Either way,
it's
Linus Olmark.
I think that was him.
Yeah, he went to Ottawa.
That was him.
He went to Ottawa.
Darn it.
Guys, I want to talk a little NBA coming up in a little bit, but I do want to talk some Lions next. Training camp dates announced today. We'll get those out to you. And, Aiden Hutchinson, a couple of guys are going to be out at the Rocket Mortgage this week. I mean, we are in
I'll be there Friday.
But Braylon will be out there Friday. We are in the weeks leading up to training camp. It's going to start getting serious around here in about 3 weeks. How excited are you for this year? What do you make of this year coming up? We'll get you those dates. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. All 4 GM brands under that Les Stanford umbrella. Right. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Drive on over to Premier Pet Supply, Michigan's best pet store, family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Curbside delivery is available for you as well. And nutritionists on call. Give your pet the best. Don't settle for less. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Now more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit SwissINS.com. Let's go visit Braylon Edwards.
Visit Braylon Edwards, but you should be visiting Planet Fitness because your fitness is essential. $10 a month is all they charge for you to get in shape, feel great, and look great doing it. And also, it's the home of the judgment-free zone, so you can work out at your own pace. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's watching you. You just enjoy it, get after it, and 30-minute total body workout in the middle. They have the signs that tells you exactly what to do. You don't need the trainers. Planet Fitness is where you need to go because your fitness, once again, is essential.
Essential.
Yeah, it is. 2 E's.
Absolutely. Guys, Lions training camp dates have been released earlier today.
Hold on before you do football.
Sure.
Last night at midnight, Adidas ceases to be in the NHL anymore. You know who's taking that over?
Fanatics.
And they put out
oh my God.
They wrote everything. The exclusive NHL contract with Fanatics has kicked in basically at midnight tonight, and the first piece they've made is the most $13 ass gas station ass. If I got to get my kids a present from Florida, now I'm at the Parchers ass hat.
Get out of here.
If you see the hat, yeah, it is not good.
Already.
It's like your gas station hat. Like we said, the Tigers hat looks like a gas station hat. The Motor City Tigers. Mm-hmm. It's Fanatics. What are you doing, Fanatics?
Making money.
What are you doing, man?
Making money for the cheap.
I swear, man.
Yeah.
All the pullovers I've had in my life, you know, I wear different pullovers all the time. I can't get them anymore because they're made for like 6'3" people. You know, they come down to your knees. They're misfitting. They just go on the cheap. I just wanted to get that in. I wanted to give you a little bitch session before you talk football.
Very good. Please keep it clean. We don't condone bad language.
Is that Terry Foster signing over there?
Thank you very much. Oh, man, that T-Foss.
T-Foss?
Oh, that's
foul
terrible.
language. Foul language.
Horrible. I'm a horrible
stories.
Yeah, we apologize for that
Oh,
kind
it's
of
terrible. I'm
language
sorry, folks. Ban me.
Lions training camp dates are out, and you can go to DetroitLions.com for training camp tickets. Tickets are going to be available on the training camp website July 9th for season ticket holders. For the general public, they'll start on July 16th. There you see the dates. Pretty much from the 27th of July through August 14th. That is the training camp schedule. And on July 27th, it is their first day. Lions back together weekend. Open to Lions loyal members only. So that is a Lions loyal members only day. On August 2nd, Lions loyal members, and on August 12th, Lions loyal members. But everything else is open to the public, but you will need tickets. The space is limited, so you'll have to go to DetroitLions.com and click on the training camp tickets. Again, for the general public, if you are not a season ticket holder, you could start getting those tickets July 16th. I think training camp is a great time to go out to camp. You see a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see. The access you have to the players, you wouldn't normally have that access. I am very excited to watch Detroit Lions football this year. I mean, I think last year leading up to the Kansas City game, that was a special time. They were coming off an 8-2 finish, a win over the Packers at Lambeau the previous year. There were a lot of expectations for this team, but you really weren't sure what they were going to be because it was, that was last year's finish, and you hoped they were going to be good this year. You hoped everybody was going to take a step. They did. They ultimately did things they hadn't done in decades last year. And now you're looking for more this year. And it starts with training camp. And Braylon Edwards, I will tell you that this is the year that I think so many of us point to. Are you going to have a downturn? Are you going to revert back to some of the other things? Heaven forbid have 2 good years in a row. Or are you really turning this thing around, which most of us believe? And this is a window into a Super Bowl period. This is your Super Bowl window. It is right now.
Yeah, training camps are always fun. I'm going to get into that, but just getting back to training camp is what training camps are fun because you get a chance to see players play that you don't necessarily get to see during the season or that you're wondering about. You get to see the second team and the third team. This year, it'd be fun to watch Jamison Williams. Seems like he's coming to his own. It'd be fun to watch Where is the secondary at? I think that's going to be where a lot of people's eyes are. Kirby Joseph, will he take that step? The guys they drafted, Ernest Rakestraw, Terry Arnold, the guys they brought in, Amik Roberts, as well as Carlton Davis II. So I think that's where a lot of eyes will go. But training camp is that time where you can see what's the quarterback name? Hendon Hooker. You can see him because right now, who knows what Hendon Hooker looks like. So that'll be fun to see. And just the guys and the energy and the momentum. And this is, like you said, this is where it starts. Getting to that trajectory. 3-13-1 to 9-8 to 12-5. They've taken the steps each year and got better and better and better. Now this year it may not be 13, it may not be 14, it may not be more wins, but this year as a team, I think they're more complete as a team. So I can't wait to see. And this is the first year I actually wouldn't mind going to a training camp. You know, having played football a lot of times, you know, these things you kind of I don't feel like going to training camp. I'm ready for the season. But watching the Lions where everybody's excited, Jared Goff got paid. Amon-Ra St. Brown got paid. Penei Sewell got played. It seems as though they've put the pieces in positions where they were bad last year, the defensive line, the secondary. It'll be fun to watch those battles because now the Lions have a really good team. It's fun to watch those guys battle. When you're back watching Calvin Johnson go against whoever the heck the secondary was back in the day, it's not a good back and forth. Now, team's elite, so it'll be fun to watch the ones versus the ones, the twos versus the twos. So I might have to get out there one of those days, Ryan.
Hey, it's also fun to have the other teams come in and have those joint practices.
This is true.
What do they get with the Giants? There's another team they get with
Jags,
as well.
they got with last year.
Jets?
Not the Jets. They got with Indianapolis.
Last year.
2 years
Frank
ago,
Reich.
Indianapolis, yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I think maybe they get with the Colts again this year.
I don't know who they usually get with whoever they're playing in the preseason.
Oh, yeah. The Giants are one.
Yeah. Kansas City.
Kansas
is another.
City. But I don't think they're going to be.
I don't know. I haven't seen that schedule.
But that's always the fun thing to do.
Giants, Chiefs, and Steelers.
What was that, Pete?
Giants, Chiefs, and Steelers.
Yeah, Giants, Chiefs, and Steelers. So that's a great thing to do, and other teams are doing that as well. It's become more of the norm now in training camp.
Running things.
It's becoming more of the norm.
Sorry. I was looking up information. I'm sorry.
I know.
Oh, the information. The information highway. It's always something. Love you, Pete.
Love you too, bro.
And you forgot what you were saying.
I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought. Well, you know, we're 1 month and 2 days away from training camp. So right now we are in the what do you want to call this period?
Purgatory.
We're in purgatory.
Absolutely.
We're in purgatory. Sports talk purgatory. So anything you want to talk about, hey, let us know and we will tackle it for you.
Right.
But yeah, who isn't looking forward to seeing the Honolulu Blue get back at it again?
I think everybody.
And Braylon, you brought up word competition. When's the last time that you had legitimate competition at spots over, competition at safety, competition at corner, competition at defensive line, competition at edge,
2013.
competition at linebacker. And it's not just competition because you're not good enough and we're trying to find the best of the worst player to
These are players.
somehow play. These are talented starters and could be starters on many rosters in the league. And a lot of guys chose to come here to compete.
And I think that's the consensus interview that you see when guys come to the Lions. I still can go back to last year. And guys this year said the same thing. DJ Reader was super excited about it. Terran Arnold told you he slept in his hat after the draft, as did Ernest Rakestraw. But I think we started seeing that last year. David Montgomery, when he got signed, when he first came here, he said, look, I don't care. I'm just excited to be here, excited to get in the backfield. I don't care what I need to do. If I need to get the water, if I need to catch passes, I'm just excited to be on this team. You saw Cam Sutton last year. Similar conversation when he got interviewed about joining, and then CJ Gardner-Johnson, the same thing. This is a destination city. This is a destination team nowadays. People are excited to play for the Lions. They're excited to get an opportunity to be coached by Dan Campbell and play with this squad, man, that has built it from the ground up. You're talking about ground up. That's exactly what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have done. So I'm excited to see these guys, man. And it also seems like they get the guys that, like Amik Robinson, he's coming in. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's got an axe to grind. He's a vocal guy, KG. So excited to see him. I actually want to see what is Amik Robinson about. I think enough hype has been around him. He's got me interested. He got me intrigued.
Yeah, and you just want to see this whole team and all the improvements they've made all together, man. They really attacked what we thought was a weakness this past offseason. So you really want to see it, man. I don't think I've ever seen a Lions team to where they had legitimate Super Bowl expectations. Last year they had expectations, but that was just a division. That was just get to the playoffs and hopefully we win
a game.
Right.
Home playoff game.
This year is totally different, and going forward, this needs to be the norm. Lions fans need to get adjusted to that. The next 3 to 4 years, this is their window, and Super Bowl or bust is actually true.
I almost forgot. I think the player that people are most excited to see during training camp, it's got to be Sione Vaki. That's the guy Brad Holmes is excited about. That's the Swiss Army knife, as he's been dubbed, that everybody's talking about. I can't wait to see how they use him, because whether it's special teams, offense, defense, that new kickoff return situation they have.
He's going to be the steal of the draft.
Sione Vaki, you might be on to something with that. Yep. You might be on to something with that.
You know, one of the things, too, and KG, you brought this up about just playing the games and this year's expectations. I was listening to an interview with an Ottawa player, I think it was Draisaitl actually, talking about his disappointment of losing the Stanley Cup final, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final. And one of the things he was talking about was how difficult it is now to be so close from a Stanley Cup. And I'm comparing this to the Lions, be so close to the Super Bowl, you could taste it, and then have to go back to training camp.
Start again.
Have to go back to all the off-season workouts, go through 82 regular season games again, and then go through each round of the playoffs, only to have the opportunity to get back where you were right now. And I thought about the Lions as just part of this conversation because, you know, all those things, I felt like I appreciated the journey last year way more than I think I'll appreciate the journey this year.
Correct.
And I'm already starting to kind of try to slow myself down about it because I really just want to project forward and automatically get back to that NFC Championship game. And even if they do, okay, even if they do get to the NFC Championship game, which I fully expect them to do, by the way, I'm not sure I will enjoy each week as I enjoyed each week last year. It was just a different level of expectation. And again, anything is new is way more fun than when it's old, right? I mean,
right. That was our first winning season since the Ndamukong Suh years.
I mean, think about the first Stanley Cup in '97 was better than the third one in 2002. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
Fact.
The divisional series against the Yankees in 2006 was better than the divisional series against the Yankees in 2012.
Yep.
You know, I mean, again, in that experience, I feel like
we got to meet Verlander and Zumaya the first time.
Exactly. You got to meet Jim Leland, really.
Right. It really is special when you first get there.
Exactly. And I think the Super Bowl will be special when you get there. But it's a long road to get there. And I guess what I'm trying to say is there's part of me that because the expectations are so elevated, I'm not going to enjoy each week of the season as much as I enjoyed it last year because of how new that felt.
In 2009, I got traded to the Jets. I mean, I've said it a million times on the show, but I guess I always have to preface it. Got traded to the Jets. That ride, Ryan and mine, that first time around when we got to the AFC Championship, it was just a fun ride because we didn't know what was going on. Shoot, we thought with 3-4 games left in the season now we were out of it. Insert, well, you guys still have a chance. Well, it's a slim chance. Well, you beat this team, you get in. Lost to that team. Now you still got a chance. Ended up getting in, so we beat the Cincinnati Bengals. We got in. We go to Cincinnati first round, Mavs. We beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati. Then we go to San Diego.
Chargers.
We have no business beating the Chargers. It was a fun season. We snuck in the playoffs. We got a playoff win. Guess what? Well, we went out there and beat the San Diego Chargers as well. And at halftime of the AFC Championship, we're beating the Colts in Indy. We end up losing that game. I say that to say this. That was fun. We just enjoyed the ride. I think our family enjoyed the ride. The fans enjoyed the ride. Year 2, 2010, now we're picked to win the division. Now the pressure's on. Now we're on Hard Knocks. Every week was pressure. Every week we couldn't enjoy it. We're trying to see what could our seeding be. I think that's what happens once you get good. What's the seeding be? Well, we need to be home field advantage. So we got to do this. Well, we lost to the Patriots, so doesn't like we'll have the home field advantage. But that one was more mind-boggling, if you will, or it just was a lot of driving forces. But it wasn't as fun. Still got there. Still got back. And we lost to the Steelers. But that first one, we just enjoyed the ride. Like what happens, happens. You play who's in front of you, you win, you lose, who happens. That next year, everything was like pressure. Every moment was pressure. Shoot, we lost. What does that do? Dang, we lost this game. What does that do? Where the Baltimore Ravens? Where the Patriots at? Where the Steelers at? Where the Colts at? Are we going to have to go to Indy? First year, it was fun.
2 years ago when the Lions went 9-8 and got knocked out of the playoffs thanks to the Seahawks losing to the Rams, beating the Rams. And they went out and they still beat Green Bay. Dan Campbell comes back the next year playing basically just like Braylon said. Let's just roll through. And what happened at the end, NFC Championship, they lose. So Dan Campbell gets out and on the podium and he's like, we might never get back here. I told the guys. There's a good chance we're not going to get back here. But Dan Campbell, a month ago, rookie camp, and then mini camp, it's Super Bowl or bust. And I don't believe in bust. So it's just how you feel. It's how you feel at the time. To lose, to have your season crash in San Francisco the way it did. To have it crash and to be so depressed because it took you so long to get there. And now you're depressed and you're saying, well, there's a good chance we're never going to get back here. Then you get a rest time, get home with your family, you rejuvenate, you make a great draft, you have a great offseason of players that you dig, you brought them in, and now it's a new season, it's a new life again, and Dan Campbell's ready for the challenge, right? So if you're not going to be this excited, remember Dan Campbell felt like you, but now he's ready to roll, man. And you're going to be as excited. You are.
I am.
Because they're going to be so damn good and so impressive that you're going to be like, man, we have a real chance to win a freaking Super Bowl.
You definitely will be excited, Ryan. I didn't mean to cut you off, Ryan or KZ, but you'll definitely be excited. You know why? It's because you trust the people you trust the people running the show. You trust Dan Campbell that he's gotten better as a fourth-year head coach. You trust that he'll be a little bit better than he was last year. And last year, he was damn good. Damn good to the tune where a lot of people thought he should have been coach of the year. You trust Brad Holmes, which means you trust the draft picks, means you trust Taron Arnold, you trust Wake Straw. You're excited to see what Sione Vaki can be or Manu. You trust the players. You trust, and you know that Amon-Ra St. Brown got paid. He deserves to be paid. Jared Goff got paid, deserves to be paid. Penei Sewell, best tackle right now in the game in my estimation. So I think you trust the players that they brought in. Trust is why we'll have fun watching this season. If there's no trust, if you're like, last year was kind of a fluke, well, now it's nerve-wracking. But I think this team is trusted by fans and analysts like us.
Dan Campbell says Super Bowl or bust. I feel like that.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like Super Bowl championship or bust, but I feel like Super Bowl or bust. If they go and lose to the Chiefs or lose to the Ravens, there's perhaps no
Jets.
shame in that. Like, I think of Jets. I mean, even the Jets. I feel like even
Browns.
Go back to Edmonton, okay? Go back to Edmonton for a second.
Yep.
There was absolutely no shame in losing that game last night.
None.
Zero. Literally, Florida won it. And if there's a situation where, the Lions went to the Super Bowl and Lamar Jackson beat them, or if Patrick Mahomes beat them, you can live with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I cannot live with myself if the Lions lose to the 49ers or the Eagles or the Packers or the Rams.
Every one of those teams you just talked about, they all got better too.
They did.
Maybe not the Niners, but the other teams.
But the Lions did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think that it is Super Bowl or bust. This team needs to win the NFC Championship game. And I think if you don't win the NFC Championship game when you're as good as this team is, I think that's when people start to chisel away at you.
Yeah.
Like, is Dan Campbell the right guy for the job? Is he making too many in-game mistakes? Can Jared Goff win the big one? I mean, that's when you have all those
Correct.
types of storylines.
That's when they pick at you.
If you get to that game and then you get there again or don't get there and falter, they've got to get past that game in order to keep those questions out of the limelight.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think you'll have those questions this year. I think this team is locked and loaded, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it starts soon with training camp. Looks like I got my training camp shirt on already.
You look like a player, man.
Unless you know, hey, I'm in shape.
Yeah.
I might have to go out there and see if I can get a couple plays, but You trust this team, and that trust thing I think is very valuable, and I think that's what the Lions have in us. They've proven that they can be trusted, so they got the trust.
Bring it on, man.
Yeah.
Bring it on. By the way, did you see Braylon's first pitch? We didn't ask you.
I did see it, and I made fun of him because I was like, well, JJ McCarthy's got nothing on him. I mean, that is
Quarterback
awesome,
Braylon.
Bray.
There we go.
Hey, look, man, we had this whole debate yesterday. Was it a lob? Was it a throw?
I said he babied it, but you know what? He got it over.
He took the safe route.
It was a throw, but it was a baby throw.
You went from the mound, too.
I went exactly.
On the rubber, okay.
They gave me the halfway option. I said, nah.
Now, Ryan, the reason he did that was it's his second it's his second pitch, man. He's done this in the past, and he wasn't happy with his first one.
You know, I one-hopped it in 2010. I one-hopped. I tried to throw gas and ended up throwing a slider, and it skipped about maybe 4 feet from the mound. I mean, from the plate, and it skipped into the glove.
We ain't got no footage of that, though.
PTSD, it doesn't exist. I had that scrub.
I don't believe that.
I had that scrub. But it's PTSD, so I got it over. No. Also, you saw JJ's. Like right now, that thing is a big deal, like getting it over the plate. So it got over the plate.
It is funny how hard it is to throw a baseball.
Yeah.
Like how great, really dynamic professional athletes. Braylon Edwards. But you were a good baseball player.
No, we
back
warmed
in the day.
up.
I'm making fun of it. I'm giving you the business on that throw. Yeah. But JJ McCarthy, you see some boxers. Really dynamic professional athletes that have a hard time throwing a baseball. It is a weird motion. It is an unnatural motion.
I have footage warming up on the sideline. I'm saying you like warming up is easy. I can throw a baseball, but you get on that mound. I say, you know what? This footage lasts. I have to make sure we got it over there.
You're not going to make the Phillies, that's for sure. You can make the Tigers,
I'm the good luck charm. I was about to say, I'm good luck charm.
You can make the Tigers, but not the Phillies.
How was that whole experience, Braylon? I never got a chance to talk to you about that.
It was great. Went down there on Friday night. We did the Father's Day deal, and that's kind of when they announced. I love this picture, by the way.
That picture is epic.
That's when they announced the Sports Hall of Fame this year, so that was fun. The Tigers won that night, and then got to go back on Sunday, the 140 game, and after 2 innings, it was 9-0. I mean, they scored 8 runs in the first inning. I said, I don't think they scored that many this season.
Wish they saved some for yesterday.
Yeah, 100%. They gave up all their bats on Sunday, but it was fun. It was a first-class experience. They took care of me. Shout out to Evan, shout out to Jordan. They made my family feel real good. Food was good in the President's Club, so it was great. AC worked. So we didn't have to spend much time down there, but tickets were awesome. We were row 23, section 130, which is right behind home plate.
Beautiful.
So beautiful seats, beautiful time. Shout out to the Tigers organization.
You earned it, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Michigan Sports Hall of Fame.
I know.
Going with Ken Holland.
I mean, that is incredible. I was disappointed. I was disappointed not to be there that night. I had you there being announced as the a member of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. My buddy Chris Getz is in town with the White Sox.
Right.
Yep.
And that was my golf trip weekend, which I was in northern Michigan, and it literally rained from the minute we got there till the minute we left.
But it don't matter, does it?
I mean, we made the best of it.
I think guys don't care.
Just do it. Like, look, I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't put a damper on a little bit of the weekend because, I mean, you're out there, you're going on a trip, you want to have it. It put a damper on it a little bit, but you make the best of it. And it's what
but if you have your family with you on that kind of trip,
it's ruined.
Ruined.
You've left.
Guys, that's all I meant is we don't care.
You're turning around and going home.
Yeah. We'll do whatever. Let's go bowling.
Right, exactly.
Let's go bowling.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So, by the way, there's a Tesla Cybertruck outside our window right now. Let me see.
How much is that thing?
Yeah.
Hang on, I got
That's
it.
the second time this week this guy's pulled up.
Oh, do you got it?
I got it.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah, you can see like the front end of it.
Oh, there's 2G. Well,
what was that?
I was going to send you a picture.
There you go, guys.
Well,
oh, wow. Front.
I don't know.
The best I could do. It's the best I could do.
That's a nice mirror right there.
I'm gonna send you this picture, Pete.
All right.
Because I got to tell you, I have not seen one in person.
I think it's really ugly.
It is absolutely growing on me. The thing looks like a tank.
Yeah.
That growing on you?
Yeah. I mean, that thing is sweet.
It's the future, Mass.
Which
future?
How much is a Cybertruck? Let's see.
Too much money.
81,000. That's it.
Oh, actually,
it's gotta be more than that.
It's not.
No,
that's not bad.
$81,000.
Bugattis are $2 million. I take the Cybertruck.
Tesla Cybertruck starting at $81,000.
I drove a Bronco Raptor the other day. A Ford. The sticker on it was $98,000. A Ford.
Wow. Really?
A Ford Bronco Raptor, $98,000 truck. I drove around the other day.
How did it drive?
It drives like a champ. But if you're an off-road guy, I think a Bronco would crush that damn thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that thing looks pretty sweet. It looks. I think it looks pretty darn cool.
There we go. I just got the picture. Hang on,
just like a Back to the Future car.
It does look like a DeLorean a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they call it a truck.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is right outside the window there at 15 in Woodward at our broadcast location where we are. It's the first one I've seen in person.
Great gas mileage.
Looks pretty. Yeah. That's one thing about the. Can I just go on my soapbox for a minute?
Yep. Please do.
The electric car thing. Okay.
I have some people.
I have a friend.
We can't even keep our houses with electricity.
Listen to me. I think there's good and bad of everything. Okay. I have a friend that just got a job an hour away, and he has an electric car, and he drives his car to work, plugs in, comes home, plugs in, goes back and forth. The money he saves by not having to pay for gas is phenomenal. Great use of the electric car. Great use of the electric car. But if you're trying to tell me that every car on the road has to be an electric car, I have a problem with that. When we went back and forth up north, the amount of charging stations, they were building one out of this Flying J's. There's a Flying J's. They're building out an area. I think GM is doing it actually. They're building out a part of the parking lot for an electric vehicle. And I'm thinking to myself, if I had to wait here for 30 minutes
at least
to charge up my car, I would be furious. I don't want to wait 30 minutes.
You're waiting more than
5 minutes.
Yeah, you're waiting more than that.
Right. And that's if there's not a bunch of cars there to begin with.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man.
To each his own.
To each his own. But just, if you want to buy a gas car, let people buy gas cars. That's what I'm saying. That's just my soapbox for the day.
Here.
Just, first of all, based on my trip up north right
Ermanni
now,
and Edwards.
And Maz.
2024. A campaign about nothing.
I could do the job. I couldn't run for the job. Too many skeletons.
Shit, you ain't the only one. It's a rough day.
We apologize.
I
apologize. Sorry. I'm better than that.
I could do the job. I couldn't run for the job. How about that? Yeah. We'll take a break, talk a little NBA next. But first, a message from KDK Law. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code right there above my head on your screen, or you can call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you. KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
And you might need them, because what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Let Guardian Alarm off you. Customized solutions from real experts. 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people. That technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. So call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back, boys and girls.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You can walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Couple of people chiming in about the Cybertruck out there too. One of the guys, here you go. I gotta find it.
They must have lowered the price on them because I'm seeing a lot of them around, like the state now. Like when they first came out, I didn't see any, and now this year I've seen you almost see about one a day.
Hala Dre says I rented a Tesla, drove it from Vegas to LA. That was the worst-ish ever. I had to charge the car 3 times before I got to LA. It's only a 3.5 to 4 hour trip. I will never buy a Tesla. I mean, whatever brand of electric car you buy. I mean, if you're going on a long car ride, or even I don't even consider a 4 hour drive a long car ride.
I got a quick story for you. My man Brian, the B-Man, visits every stadium. He's got every single stadium in the universe. So he plans a trip to Texas. He's going to see the Rangers one day. Next day, and go drive to Houston and get the Astros. So he gets down to the airport. He gets in the car line, pick up his car, and they hand him an electric car. And he's like, "No, I didn't ask for an electric car." "Oh, that's all we have." "What do you mean that's all we have? I asked for a specific, sedan, blah, 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 blah." "Well, it's not going to be here for, till maybe later in the day." He couldn't. So he had to take the electric car. So this poor guy had to plan his trip to get from Arlington to Houston, back and forth, and make it on time. He got stuck so many times, and he had to map out. He had to leave like at 6 a.m. for a 2:00 game to make it to certain stations because they're all few and far between Arlington and Houston. He had to go to a Walmart to fill up. Guess what? There was a car there already.
Right.
So he had to wait
for the car.
Wait for the car to go, and then go in, and it said you got 3 hours to charge. 3 hours to charge. So he goes inside to Walmart, hangs out, does whatever, comes back out, and the thing wasn't charging right. Had to
First
leave
of
it,
all-
go to another place. In other words, it made his trip into
Miserable.
into a quagmire. He could hardly made it to the games on time, and that's just his story. He had
That's
to tell you.
miserable.
If he tells you, you'll be like in tears for the guy.
Oh, that's
in tears.
miserable.
I can put myself in a situation where something like that could happen. I'm already pissed with my diesel truck and the little things that I got to do for a diesel truck in terms of DEF fluid, remembering to do that, or the car starts slowing down, things of that nature.
Oh, my
I can
God.
only, and that's small potatoes. Having to charge 3 hours, having to wait for somebody to charge, then you have to charge and finding where charging stations are. Nah, that electric car stuff's not for me.
I just know they're giving them away now. They're giving them away.
Stories like this.
We ran a story today during our newscast, and the reporter, had documentation or had as part of his report said that Ford was losing $100,000 for every electric car because you sell it for X, but the amount of money that you spend on all of the research and all of the what goes into making what goes into making the car, and those people have health insurance, and those people have retirement accounts, and those people have so it's interesting. Either way, we can talk about that till we're blue in the face. You were taking a trip downtown tonight.
I am. I got to go see the Phils.
I would love to see the Phillies. I wish I planned my nights better.
Me too.
But I would love to see the Phillies. I think the Phillies are going to win the World Series.
They got a hell of a shot.
That is the team.
Are they the Panthers? Are they the Florida Panthers? Been knocking at the door.
Yeah, they were knocking on the door.
I'll tell you, the Phillies are that team. I think the Yankees are a damn good baseball team too if they can stay healthy. I mean, Rizzo's out, Giancarlo Stanton's out now. Judge is banged up a little bit.
What a sight he is, though.
He is. So we'll see. But I think the Phillies, if there's a team I would love to see, it is the Phillies. And they're here right now. I'm kind of mad at myself that
This is a night that you won't get it's a rare night. Tarek Skubal's pitching against Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez is the best pitcher in baseball right now. Tarek Skubal's an underdog tonight.
Statistically, or you think he's the best?
He's 10-1 with like a sub-2 ERA.
Okay.
So he's pretty good.
Player. Yeah,
he's pretty good. Skubal's an underdog, a plus 135 dog tonight. You won't see him as an underdog very often when the Tigers are playing. Obviously, they're playing the best team in baseball. So tonight might be a 2-1 game, just like last night. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, the Tigers could sneak one out tonight.
Stop it.
Maybe.
I don't think Skubal's lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
He's given up. He's given up
bad in the last one.
Skubal's given up 4 earned runs in back-to-back starts. The Tigers have been shut out in those starts. The last 2 Skubal starts, the Tigers have been outscored 11-0.
What's the over/under tonight? Let's see. I'll bet the under.
I don't. Hold on. I'm on ESPN.com
I got
right
it.
now. Yeah. Either way, Ranger Suarez 10-1 with a 1.75 ERA. Skubal went from the favorite, I think, to the number 4th best odds to win the Cy Young.
Wow.
He's really the only good thing they have going, and even he is
Reese Olson too.
Faltering, yeah.
Flaherty too. Still playing well.
They're well, but they're not winning.
Yeah.
And
they won when I was there.
7.5 is the run.
Good job, Bray.
7.5.
Yeah.
Good call, Joe.
You did your job.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing. I mean, it's a disappointing
They got
season
buried
because
last
I just
night.
don't see it turning around. They are only 6 games under 500. If you look at the standings, if you pop over to the wild card standings, they're not that far. It's not like some insurmountable lead. There's 6.5 games.
They're 7 under 500.
Yeah.
35 and 42.
They're 36 and 42.
Oh, my bad then.
So 6 games under 500, 6 games out of a wild card. Could they turn around? Yes. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
They just don't have the roster.
Too many holes.
Way too many holes.
And what's your first baseman? Torkelson?
Spencer Torkelson
is not doing anything down
he's
below
struggling.
in AAA. He is it's the same numbers that he had up here, and he's doing it against AAA pitching.
But 2 of their horses too, Bray. When you are counting on, well, really 3 guys to be a big part of your lineup this year, and I think this is part of Scott Harris's downfall. Just like if I'm going to call Troy Weaver out, I'll call Scott Harris out.
Yeah.
A bunch of young guys. They literally counted on every young guy to be good this year. And in baseball, that's just suicide. That is incredibly, you cannot count on young guys exclusively to have a good season, to have a contending season. Spencer Torkelson, no good. Parker Meadows, no good. Both those guys were opening day lock, step, clear-cut guys.
Center fielder, first baseman.
That were going to play really good baseball for you, be counted on. Both guys, not only are they having bad years, they're both out of the majors.
Yep.
That's how bad they are. And then you put Kerry Carpenter into there, and I don't care what the reason. Kerry Carpenter is hurt. If he's down in AAA or if he's hurt, it's the same result at the big leagues.
Yep.
You know? I mean, you're not.
Shortstop is a mess.
Well, the Javi Baez thing is just. I think that's an ownership thing.
That's true, but Ryan Kryler hasn't helped. Zach McKinstry, it's like you don't have a shortstop, period.
They don't have a shortstop. They don't have a third baseman. I think Mark Canha and Gio Urshela are decent veterans.
They're going to be traded.
They should be traded. They should trade this whole team.
Yeah, this is where I would say Scott Harris.
So disappointed in this group.
In the words of Neil Rule, two things can be true. And thing one, this is only year 2 for Scott Harris, I believe. This is year 2 for Scott Harris. So still, give the man some time. I will say that. Where I'm pissed at him at is those bats. Matt Canha wasn't the bat we needed, and neither was Gio Urshela. Like the bats we knew we needed bats coming to the season. JD Martinez is the name that keeps getting thrown out there because JD Martinez is hitting the ball this season, and he was the guy that we wanted Scott Harris to go after. That's where I think you place a lot of blame on him, not getting the bats to help them. They knew what they were coming into, a lot of young guys. With that being said, Scott Harris didn't draft Spencer Torkelson number 1 overall.
Yep,
Scott
Harris didn't draft Casey Mize number 1 overall. And what are you getting out of 2 number 1 overalls? Absolutely nothing. Casey Mize is probably a 7th pitcher for the Detroit Tigers, and Spencer Torkelson, as you just said, he's down in AAA struggling in Toledo. So that still falls on the individuals to draft them. It's like the Pistons haven't got the draft right. Spencer Torkelson, the 1, is a bust, and Casey Mize, the 1, is a bust.
He had 10 strikeouts.
Listen to me.
Night.
I fully agree with
Casey?
you, Braylon, but it's because of that.
Yeah.
Like after a year and a half of player evaluation,
You should know something.
you should know about those players, and then when you do know about those players, you have to make up for that somewhere. That is why when Matt Chapman and JD Martinez are sitting out there, 2 bats, 2 veterans, 2 guys that can put the ball out of the ballpark, are out there for cheap, out there for nothing, relatively speaking, to what you need on your team. I think that's part of the frustration with Tigers fans because JD Martinez is batting cleanup for the New York Mets right now, who are in the thick of things.
Yep. They turned it around since he came back.
They absolutely did. And you know, that's a guy that could help Spencer Torkelson. That's a guy that could help Riley Green because he takes pressure off those guys.
He's a hitting god. You learn off of him.
And I think that was just a big miss not getting him. Now, Matt Chapman is not having the greatest of years in San Francisco, but still, that is a player that's got a track record that could put the ball out of the ballpark, that is a veteran that could ultimately be in the middle. And God bless Mark Canha, okay? But he's not a guy that's going to hit 25, 30 bombs a year.
Yeah, I think the Javi Baez situation, just thinking about it a little bit, maybe makes me a little upset at Scott Harris. The reason why I say that, Javi Baez was having one of the worst years in MLB history in terms of his percentages, in terms of a lot of his percentages. One, he was the worst player. Was it OPS, Maz?
Yep.
I think his OPS is the lowest in the MLB. The lowest in the MLB. Now, when you continued to play him before he got hurt, this is where I get pissed off at Scott Harris, because what was the reasoning in continuing to play him? We don't have another shortstop. This guy's not ready. That guy's not ready. This guy can't play. So Javi Baez is the best of a bad situation. You mean to tell me this guy who's having the worst season in MLB is the best that we got? Situations like that, and you look at what who did Houston Astros did. They say, you know what? We'll take the loss.
Yep,
Jose Abreu.
Yeah.
We'll take the loss. Why can't you do the same with Javi Baez? Look, I'm not spending other people's money because I hate when people do that. You got the money.
I
think it's a statement more than anything. The statement is, this isn't acceptable. We'll cut ties with Javi Baez. At least let the people know you see what we see.
Right.
Don't make it out like we're watching a different game than you guys are watching in front office. We're watching the same Tigers right there. Oh, by the way, appreciate you guys.
But is that Scott Harris or is that Chris Ilitch?
That's Scott Harris.
I felt like he's been handcuffed this whole time. They benched him last year. So AJ Hinch and Scott Harris got to know this guy is not helping your lineup. He's a whole. So I think that's a Chris Ilitch problem.
I think the Baez thing is also a Chris Ilitch
So?
problem. Because
yeah.
That was the first thing Scott Harris did when he got here.
If you could buy him out and understand that you made a mistake, I think that's part of the look. When San Francisco realized they made a mistake on Trey Lance, what do? They got rid of him.
Got rid of him for a fourth round pick.
Yep. Exactly. And what
still got something out of the deal.
What did Chicago get for Justin Fields?
6 in a bag of you know what?
Why is that?
Because they waited. They stayed.
They waited. And San Francisco, I know what we have in Trey Lance. I'm getting rid of him.
Yep.
You know what you have in Javi Baez. Shout out to baseball, though. I have to tell you, over the next couple of weeks, within a 2-week period, you're going to see the Phillies at Comerica Park and the Dodgers at Comerica Park. Thank you. That is awesome.
It's better than seeing the Guardians 18 times.
And the Royals.
Right, and the White Sox.
That's exact, Maz. That was the exact point I was going to make.
Yeah.
I'd rather
it's a balanced schedule.
Yes.
I dig it.
And remember when the news broke? We were on the show when the news broke. We had Dan Dickerson that day, and he couldn't believe it. He's like, wait, can you read that again? Because I'm not sure I'm understanding what it is. Like, oh, yeah, no, that's what it is.
I like what they've done to the game. The game, to me, has not changed.
No.
I love it. I'll always love it. But to me, it doesn't change. It's still a great game. I wish we had a contending team. It's been too long. 2014, man. That's 10 years, man. That's enough. It's enough suffering.
Going to the game this past Friday and then again on Sunday, it was the first time I've actually gone to a game since the pitch clock has been a thing. Watching that pitch clock and actually paying attention to the pitcher's momentum, the rhythm with the pitch clock, excellent job administering that pitch clock, man, because the game definitely moves fast.
Except when it decides a game. Unfortunately, it did the other day.
Oh, that's right.
They had a walk-off
couldn't
clock
believe it.
violation.
Walk-off walk.
Yes.
Rules are rules.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Rules. I will say this, though,
It's
man.
rare.
You would be proud of me. On Friday, what inning do you think I left in?
6th.
Close. 8th.
Wow.
I made it all the way to the 8th.
You should have just waited for the fireworks.
Yeah, it was late.
I know.
Get out. But on Sunday, they were blowing them out. I think we left in the 5th. But I made it to the 8th on Friday. So that's not bad.
Hey, did
By
you
the way,
watch the fireworks?
I was
going
to say, speaking of the
it
fireworks,
snuck by me.
I had no idea they were happening.
I told you yesterday.
Until I got to work yesterday.
You guys didn't do it on Fox?
No, we did, but I didn't realize it until I read the news the morning of.
Yeah, it snuck up.
There was no next week it's the fireworks. There's this party. There's that party. Is that still a thing? I mean, I don't know, man. It used to be such a major event. Yeah. I think it still was. I mean, I got an alert on my phone that Belle Isle was closed at 6:30 because it was so packed. But
I was downtown yesterday.
I feel like I didn't feel it.
I was downtown yesterday. We were off of downtown. We were at the Cambria Hotel, which is kind of, is
that where that's where they right next to Channel 4, right?
100%. Yeah. Right next to the other place.
The golf place is down there.
100%. Five Iron.
Yeah.
So Five Iron was there. We went there, had a meal at SIBO, and it wasn't necessarily crowded in that area. Before, and that area is kind of off of downtown a little bit, but it was easy to get. It was easy to get in. It was easy to get into downtown. I think we were on the freeway about 7:30. Got there 7:45, 7:50. It was smooth sailing.
Guys, we'll take a break. A little NBA. We'll do it next. NBA draft is tomorrow. What's the latest with the Pistons?
Bronny James.
And who could be coming here? And by the way, how high should Bronny James go?
55.
Will we see him tomorrow?
You might. That's next. But first, a message from Wake Up Woodward.
All right, Wake Up Woodward. Woodward Sports has a new morning show, but we've been around the block a few times. But you can start your day with Wake Up Woodward every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and myself every morning as we cover all of Detroit sports, talk, banter, and live fan interaction on Detroit's #1 sports network, that is Woodward Sports.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Crispy chicken and pizza is what you get at Soroki's. It's the best crispy chicken and pizza with the fresh sides and salad, but also the Nashville Hot is back. That's right. The pizza, the sandwich, the chicken tenders, and the fries. Get it because it's a limited time only. It won't be there forever. You got to get down to Soroki's. They're popping up all over the place. And oh, by the way, don't forget those biscuits. A little bit of honey goes a long way, and those biscuits are fire. Come enjoy the delicious heat. Nashville Hot back, but limited time.
Oh, yeah.
NBA draft tomorrow and Thursday.
Oh.
What? The NBA thinks it's the NFL?
Oh, they love themselves.
Does the NBA think it's the NFL?
They do.
Why would they do this?
Oh, my God.
Nobody's watching
So
day 2.
dumb.
NHL draft is over the weekend.
I mean, come on. But they got 28 rounds in hockey. They got 76 rounds in hockey. They got
Hockey's
2
doing
in
it from the
basketball.
sphere.
Oh, I know. They did it smart. They did it fantastic. But, yeah, NBA draft tomorrow, round 1. Thursday, round 2, 4 o'clock. I do like that part of it. Yeah. But will Bronny James be seen? Who will be the number 1 pick? This is not a year where there is a consensus number 1 pick. And where will Bronny James go? Will he be seen tomorrow night? Will he have to wait until the next day? So many questions and very few answers right now.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, you heard a lot of things. Obviously you get Bronny James, you probably get access to LeBron James. That's a thing. It's going to be interesting. I don't think he's necessarily an NBA-worthy draft talent prospect right now, but LeBron James is the driving force of that. Pick 55, Maz. That's the number to pay attention to. That's where the Lakers pick in the second round. I think that's where he gets drafted.
I don't think he'll last that long.
Even though you can say this is a horrible draft because it's probably least talented, if you will, there's a lot of question marks. A lot of these players you're going to have to see 3-4 years down the line, see what they become. So that's why this draft is like that. But with that being said, if I'm a team, I just can't take the chances. And you watch what he was, you look at his stats. Stats don't lie. Sometimes stats don't tell the true story, but when you see somebody averaging 0.4 points a game or whatever he averaged this year and rebounds and assists, he really was a non-factor for a team that wasn't necessarily that good. So when you break it down for what it is, I think
5'11".
that's what a lot of teams are finally wrapping themselves around. They saw him in the combines and they're just like, we just can't take that chance. I don't care whose son it is at the end of the day. This is still our name on the line. This is still... Would you want to be a GM that drafted Bronny James regardless of why you're drafting him?
Depends how desperate I was.
Rich Paul says it ain't a package deal.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying now. It's not.
So I'm definitely not taking it now.
Because they don't want to just go anywhere. That's why.
I'm sure.
They don't want to go
I
to
wouldn't
a
draft Michael
team.
Jordan's son when he came out of Illinois or Florida Atlantic. It's the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Pippen would.
So
see who she's after now?
Listen,
she's after Bronny.
The Pistons are projected. If you believe the mocks, in the NBA, mocks are usually pretty spot on. I think at least for the first 7, 8,
30
9,
picks.
First few picks, they're pretty spot on. The NBA. They've got the ESPN has the Pistons selecting Matas Buzelis. I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
You got to get him.
Matas Buzelis from the G League Ignite. This is what Jay Billis says about him. Buzelis is an interesting prospect with a great story. Perhaps he represents Lithuania on the national team. Some fans believe he's an international prospect, but he was born in Chicago and grew up there. Highly recruited, but chose to play in the G League rather than go to college. Both of his parents played professional basketball in Lithuania before moving to Illinois. 19-year-old Buzelis played basketball growing up. 6'8" wingspan. As a comp would be Orlando Magic's Franz Wagner.
I like the kid from Tennessee that I got to watch. Dalton Connect. Good shooter. Played here.
That's a lot of people are talking about.
Played here. Came here with Purdue with the Final Four, not the Final Four, the Elite Eight when they came here to Little Caesars. But supposedly the Pistons are the only one of the top 5 that are not interested in him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
I'll tell you, my favorite player in this draft, to be honest with you, favorite player among guys that I know, Donovan Klingman. The big man from UConn, who was so great for them, the UConn Huskies, in the tournament. Fantastic. This dude is a 21-year-old player, 22-year-old player.
Yeah. He'd be a veteran.
With championship experience. And he's a guy that could play. He's an older player, relatively speaking. He's not going to be a 19-year-old kid out there. And, Jalen Duren and all these big men on the team, you have to completely reshape your roster. I don't think there's one player in this draft that's going to help them turn into a playoff team next year without some sort of bigger deal that happens, like who's the guy I'm thinking of in New Orleans right now? Brandon Ingram. Yeah. He's played his last game in New Orleans most likely. The Buzelis, you could sell me on that. Franz Wagner, if he's a Franz Wagner type player, you can sell me on that. But we'll see. I have a pulse when it comes to the Pistons now because, I like the fact that they got rid of Monty, and I like the fact that
it's fair.
I've got a pulse when it comes to the Pistons.
Don't know much about Donovan Klingman except for what I saw in the national championship game. Definitely, when you look at him, you know who he's coached by. Dan Hurley is a damn good coach, the best coach in college basketball right now, back-to-back national championships. So you're bringing in somebody that knows the game, somebody that will operate well within the system. He's 21, so he is experienced. He's not coming in like a kid that you got to teach the game to. This is somebody that's going to come in and maybe help somebody's roster out. Probably be a G League type guy for a second. But just looking at where he comes from, I take a shot on him. I take a chance on him. Also, it's about where players come from. You look in the NFL, whenever you see a player from Alabama, from Michigan, from, I hate to say it, but Ohio State, you think you got a pretty good guy that came from an organization. I think it's the same thing with UConn basketball. Yeah.
No doubt.
Can't complain about that. But how about Troy Weaver got another job already?
Yeah, those guys are going to get jobs. It's a who do you know league. Yeah. Right? I mean, you're going to get a job. He's senior advisor to the Washington Wizards.
Oh, look, another team that's not winning.
Right. I mean, these guys just get shuffled around, Maz. I mean, there's no doubt. These guys just get shuffled around, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is.
The only stain on his record is here.
Absolutely. Did you see JJ Reddick being introduced as Lakers head coach?
He had a good presser.
He's
dropped the F-bomb.
Way too smug for me. I just don't like him.
He's a Duke guy.
Yeah, he is a Duke guy.
He is the closest thing to Christian Laettner that I can remember.
Okay.
Like, I hated Christian Laettner growing up. I mean, he's just
Cherokee Park has got to go.
I hated Cherokee Park.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it's just white guys from Duke, and I'm not like, I don't even like to do that, but like there's something about white guys from Duke that I hate. Yeah. Like they just think they're better than you. They think they're smarter than you. They think they're more good looking than you. And I'm like, JJ.
Did a Duke guy take a girlfriend from you?
Oh, God, I hate Duke guys. It's just like, it goes back to my childhood. You know what I mean? It's just, even JJ Reddick, he thinks he's smarter. He's sitting there at the whatever the day is yesterday, literally talking down to people. That's how he took it. Like, you are so much smarter than everybody in this room, JJ. Get out of here with that stuff. Go drop your F-bombs.
You want to hear some JJ?
Yeah. No, but yes, fine.
Go ahead.
JJ Reddick.
Yeah.
This job was about the Lakers. This job was about the Lakers. And it was about LeBron James, Anthony Davis, two of the greatest players ever. I've been able to do some incredible things in my life. I really have. I mean, Rob knows this. Like, Monday night, I called Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Thursday, I'm in Cameron. One of my sons is playing at Duke camp in the practice facility. The other son is in Cameron Indoor Stadium. And I'm on the phone with Rob and Jeannie committing to this job in the Duke Hall of Fame room. I've gotten to do some amazing stuff in my life, right? This might be the best. And when I think about like this job in particular, it's not just about getting the job. What I wanted to do was do the job. I wanted to coach the Los Angeles Lakers. And so that was where I landed on pursuing this versus, potential other opportunities.
Sounds like a nice guy.
I've gotten to do some pretty great things in my life, and this might be one. It's fake.
Everything is a fake.
Yeah.
Like the way he sits is fake. The way he's holding his microphone is fake.
Damn right.
The way
It's rehearsed.
Get it off your
He
chest.
bugs me to no end. Here's what it is. JJ Reddick or anybody that thinks that they're better than you, and this guy thinks he's better than all of us, I have a problem with. It's just not my kind of guy. There's no authenticity there at all. He's just always looking for the next thing. If you can't help him get to where he wants to go, it's the type of guy that's got no use for you. I don't like those kind of guys. Period.
What is the chances that he'll be successful this year with the Lakers?
This year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, is he more like Steve Nash or is he more like Steve Kerr?
I think Steve Kerr.
I mean,
if he doesn't win this year, how is he going to win after LeBron leaves? Because they don't have much.
And Anthony Davis ain't enough.
They don't have much. So if he don't have his best 2 seasons, the next 2 seasons, he's done.
Well, one thing he is done doing is podcasting. Here's what he had to say about that.
I am, for the time being, and hopefully it's a very, very long time, I am excommunicated from the content space. So there would be no podcast. We'll do something when I have a breather from what we have coming up. I'm going to be drinking out of a fire hose for the next month. But at some point, we'll just do something for all the people that listened, and we'll have a small little video. But I'm done with podcasting for now.
Yeah.
Better be done with podcasting.
Right?
Maz, who doesn't have a...
Rich Baldwin does not care for you.
Oh. Yeah,
Rich
well,
Baldwin.
Rich... Oh, Ryan, you should look in the mirror, dude.
Like that voice now.
He said it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Hey, that was good.
He obviously doesn't know you.
He doesn't know me.
He don't know
this
you.
guy don't know me.
Come on, Rich.
You don't know me.
Rich, talk to me first.
Stand on business, Ryan.
What's Gazzo?
They just hate the hate.
Just some. It's like Buddy, Gazzo's driver in Rocky.
Yeah.
Some guys like Rich, they just hate for no reason.
They hate for no
This
reason.
guy doesn't know me.
Come on, Rich.
Come on, Rich Baldwin. I'm gonna start calling you Buddy from Rocky 1. And
Hey,
Rich
buddy.
Baldwin, listen to me.
Hey, buddy.
If you don't know who Buddy is in Rocky 1, Buddy is Gazzo's driver.
Hey.
In
What you
Rocky
take her
1.
to a zoo?
Right, and you can't say that. Don't say that word after
not.
that. Okay, very
I didn't
good.
say it. It's like
I
take
know.
her to
I'm
the
just
zoo.
taking it to the zoo, Rob.
Relax.
But Buddy, he just hates people for no reason. He wakes up, he hates people. He hates Rocky. Why do you hate Rocky? Some guys, they just hate for no reason.
Yeah.
So,
Don't pay him any mind, Rocco.
don't pay him any mind.
All right, Rocco.
Guys.
I don't sweat you.
We'll go around the
That's all he would
NFL.
say. I don't sweat you.
I don't sweat you. We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from little WSN merch, baby.
Oh,
How about
merch.
that?
Hey,
Get
merch.
some merch, baby.
How about that, man? We need to get the Stop the Hate shirts going, man. But are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? I know you are. So it's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, hats, guaranteed to turn heads. And of course, that Booty Kid shirt flying off the shelves. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, Just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy. You know he's here with us on every Thursday. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more info, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Dr. Pierce.
Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. My buddy Rich Baldwin in the chat.
Rich is just coming after you. His body blowing you.
Like,
to the body, the body, the
this
body.
guy's giving me jabs. I don't have a fake laugh like you, Ryan. Anthony Patterson says, Ryan, did you play for Duke? That's fantastic. Where's any more from Rich? I was having
hey,
fun
buddy.
with Rich.
Steve O'Baby has been hidden.
Oh, Steve O'Baby's been hidden. Why? What did Steve O'Baby say?
I don't know.
Who was he hating on? The Lions. How do you hate on the Lions?
Joel had enough of them.
Oh, man. Rich Baldwin. Let's go. That's to Wavy. What did Wavy have to say? Rich Baldwin, stand up. Way J, that's who it is. Way
Man, them
J.
jokers wasn't even on the mound. Watching
so
the Boston
good.
Red Sox. The Celtics threw out the first pitch.
Ermanni,
None of them were even on the mound.
Ermanni, you're getting cooked.
Exactly.
Not gonna lie. Getting cooked.
What was that? Adrian Ronan?
Yeah.
I'm out here getting cooked.
You get cooked over here.
Oh,
I think we got that drop here somewhere.
Man.
That's the former Georgia backup quarterback,
Right, who's
Logan
worse?
Gray.
Brandon Katz or Rich? What did Brandon Katz have to say?
Oh, Brandon Katz is
These throws.
What's happening with him? Oh, he's a BDE.
He's a resident troll, though. Resident troll.
Oh, man.
He's a lawyer as well.
He hates all of us.
Anthony Patterson. Anthony Patterson. Anthony Patterson. I take no offense from Anthony Patterson. He's a good listener for the show.
Yeah, AP.
He's great.
AP in the house.
Are we judging all the people in the chat now?
Oh, man. I love that.
Let's do it,
love
man.
that.
Is it?
Background check.
Yeah, right. All right, hey, Maz, can we go around the NFL for a little bit?
I don't see why not.
All right, very good.
the pot calling the kettle black here. Brandon Ayuk says he's starting to take these negotiations personal.
Oh,
he's taking it personal. He's a little insulted right now. And the word on the street is Washington is trying to make a deal to bring Brandon Ayuk over to DC. What say you, Bray? It's the Ayuk news. It keeps coming up. It won't go away.
Yeah, because I think Brandon Ayuk's in that space where he doesn't feel like the team wants him. He doesn't feel like they value him. But the 49ers, they know they need this man in order to have success. You look at their offense is clicking. You get a lot of one-on-one matchups when you have him, when you have Debo, when you have George Kittle, as well as CMC. So he may want to go somewhere. He may think it's not going to happen. He's going to be right there in San Francisco when the season starts. They're not the same offense. They don't have that same dynamic without Brandon Ayuk. KG, I mean, you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, the minute they draft Ricky Pearsall in the first round, that was screaming, this is your replacement.
But is Ricky Pearsall ready like Brandon Ayuk is ready? Brandon Ayuk is ready now.
No, I agree. They should probably hold on to him, but I don't think it's going to happen, man. And you look at everything that's happened to this point, him getting filmed and putting it on TikTok that, they ain't rocking with me no more and stuff like that. So I think it's only a matter of time, and he may get his wish this season. So
Pearsall could be the new... what's the Puka Nacua?
Dude,
he might be ready this year.
Again, I am. There's so much money out there. There's so much money out there. I don't blame these guys for wanting to go somewhere that's going to showcase their own skills. Yeah. This isn't basketball, okay? We've got a guy like Jordan Poole making $180 million. I mean, some of the contracts that these basketball players are signing, like the eighth best player on the team. His contract would be an all-time high for an NFL player.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's so gross what happens. So for an NFL player that wants to go get his money, it's these wide receivers being paid $35 million a year. You got to go get yours. I don't begrudge that at all. Dante 151 says, breaking news, Pavel Datsyuk to be in the 2024 NHL Hall of Fame.
Hey,
wow.
Shout out.
Thank you, Dante.
Pavel.
Dante's breaking news.
Yeah, he is.
Very good.
Yeah.
We got to hire Dante.
Yeah.
Want some more?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I got
Michigan's own Max Crosby, EMU star. Guess what?
Yeah.
He and his wife got to go to the factory this weekend because they named the field after Max Crosby. Yeah. Check it out. Max's weekend.
Without this army around me, I got the best people in the world support me every single day, and I'm not gonna start screaming, I promise, but I just want to say I love everyone. Thank you guys for showing up, and Coach Creighton, without you giving me a chance, none of this would be possible, so I appreciate it.
Would it have been for him to be a Detroit Lion?
Oh, man.
I mean, he is just an absolute stud.
Chris Creighton doing some great things over there at Eastern Michigan University as well, and they finally got rid of that darn track at Eastern Michigan University. How bad is it? How 1980s is it to have a track around a football field?
Eastern Michigan right there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, how do you feel about that, James? Yeah.
Fortunate though is although that they now put in, it's just a turf around it, so it doesn't bring the fans any closer in. You're still the same distance as you are away, but it's a good thing, and it's about damn time.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the track at a football stadium. I see a track at a football stadium, and I'm like, do you have any money to do anything around here?
It reminds you of a high school field,
right?
Right? It does.
It
reminds you of the high school field.
I love it.
Like James says, man, put some more, bring the bleachers closer.
Yeah.
Do something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trying.
They are.
They're trying.
They are.
That's a tough gig out there.
Absolutely. And again, I think Chris Creighton has brought a different level of respect to that program that they haven't had in decades.
Yes.
Decades.
It's good they got some money. You got guys like Chris Creighton, as you said, and then Max Crosby donating, putting their money where their mouth is. I remember when they started talking about NIL deals. Max Crosby trying to get with some guys. I think TJ Lang There's another Eastern Michigan guy. So the more you have guys come back that want to put that money into an organization, it has chances to get better. And I think that's what you're starting to see. This is only the beginning. Yeah. It's only the beginning.
No
doubt.
How
about this? The state of Kansas and the state of Missouri got themselves a border war. They always did. But the word on the street was, hey, Kansas, stay away from our teams. Missouri got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals. Well, the governor of Kansas has okayed a bill that they will build a stadium for the Royals and the Kansas City Chiefs if they cross the line from Missouri to Kansas. How about that?
I would not be shocked at this because St. Louis has lost teams before.
Yeah. Missouri is in a hard spot.
Absolutely. St. Louis,
they're the show me state.
And they don't show anybody anything.
They ain't showing the money.
They're not showing no money like Jerry.
But again, I would not be surprised by this. I would not like it, but I would not be surprised by it because the state of Missouri has lost teams before.
So instead of being Kansas City, they'd be Kansas.
The Kansas Chiefs.
Kansas Chiefs, the Kansas Royals.
Yeah.
They'll be their first foray into professional sports. And they're all in, man. Kansas is all in on this.
I like that. I was just thinking of the names, like Kansas City versus Kansas. The Kansas Chiefs. That just sounds.
It don't hit the same.
It might not change the name because look at Jersey and New York. They're not the Jersey Jets. They're not the Jersey Giants. They've always been the New York Giants. And Jersey's always been pissed that they never took the name of the great state of New Jersey. And there was one point they were trying to poach the Yankees.
Really?
And George Steinbrenner was using the Meadowlands to try to get a better stadium, which he eventually did with the brand new Yankee Stadium. But maybe they don't change names, but they could definitely change states.
Yeah.
Look at the Giants and the Jets.
Yeah. Why? You know, dumb question for a minute. Why is it the Florida Panthers and not the Miami Panthers?
Because they're not in Miami. They're in Sunrise.
Okay, yeah. And they're not the Santa Clara 49ers, and they weren't the Pontiac Lions either.
I know, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
But, you know, still, you take on...
They should be Miami.
Right?
Because Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Florida sounds cool, though. Florida Panthers.
Yeah, sound way better.
But now they're the Miami Marlins instead of the Florida Marlins.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
You know what I mean? When they won the World Series, they were the Florida Marlins. Now they're the Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
Like, what goes into that decision?
They're the Miami Marlins?
Yeah, they are. They sold more jerseys and hats that way.
I mean, I
went
think
to the
it's like
stadium and
some
didn't even
sort
know
of
that.
like, I don't know.
It's been like that for years.
You got me, man. You got me on that one.
It wasn't the thank you. Who said that? It's not the Auburn Hills Pistons. Holla at Dre. You know, it's the Detroit Pistons. It always has been. Unless they were the Fort Wayne Pistons.
It was older.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was years ago.
Hey, Mike McCarthy, we always say Mike McCarthy, good coach, won a Super Bowl, but he always seems to be on the ropes. He's one of the least paid coaches in the NFL.
Like $4 million, I think.
Jerry Jones
I knew this was
is starting to get on his nerves, or at least that's the word on the street. And, of course, we believe that. How do you not? Jerry Jones is in everyone's hair.
Bray, I think it was Ben Johnson a couple of weeks ago at the availability at minicamp that said, when you take one of these head coaching jobs, yes, you can rush for the money and you can rush, but if you don't have an owner that is going to support you, that has a structure for you to succeed, you're just going to end up being fired a year from now or 2 years from now.
That's facts.
Now, the Dallas Cowboys are a little bit different because they're the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
One of the preeminent franchises in all of sports,
Historic.
not just the NFL.
Yeah.
So you probably put up with a little bit more than you would put up with. Same with the LA Lakers. The LA Lakers don't pay their coaches anything either. And that's why you've had a lot of turnover recently over the last 12 years. But you look at the ownership structure of the Dallas Cowboys, it does not look like it is one that is truly a championship organization.
Not to mention, Jerry Jones has his hands in everything as it relates to the Cowboy. He is in everything. He's in the locker room. He's talking to players. He's on podcasts. He does his own radio show every day of the week during the season, which a lot of times he's giving out way more information than he should.
He does every day on radio?
It's like 3 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
It shows like 3 days a week. I want to say it's Monday, Wednesday, and then I think mainly Monday, Wednesday.
He's got to be the only owner doing that.
Yeah.
But then you create these lines, man, where you handicap coaches. You know, you make friends with players. Like players come to you instead of going to the coach, and you put up with it for a certain extent because it is the Cowboys. It is a story franchise, number one in the NFL. It is the Cowboys. You know, you're hoping to get this win. And you want to respect Jerry Jones. He has 3 Super Bowl wins. You appreciate the work that he put in when he first bought the team in the late 80s. But then it gets to a point, you're like, all right, look, man, sit back. I've actually won a Super Bowl more recent than you, Jerry Jones, because I think they won, 2009, 2010, the Green Bay Packers. So it's got to be frustrating. He's not paid well. They keep going 13-3. They're getting, or 13-4. They keep getting close. And then you got this guy that's just micromanaging everything. And now Jerry, it's not like micromanaging when Jerry was on top of his game. Jerry was on top of his game. Jerry was still sharp. Let's be honest. Jerry's getting up there in age. So I think a lot of times that's probably weighing on Mike McCarthy too. And then he doesn't know job security. Yeah. Like you said, every other day is, he's fired. Oh, no, they got a good stretch going. Oh, he's about to get fired. Oh, well, so.
Jerry not about to keep putting up with him not winning in the playoffs. He's on the hot seat, if you ask me.
They both on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Father Time is calling that number.
Oh, yeah. But as long as he alive, the Cowboys going to be what they are.
You ain't lying.
I want to address something in the chat. Paul Thomas says, I will say I come here the least because Braylon and Ryan don't care about us, just being honest. We do care about everybody in the chat. And we can try to be better about the chat. We're just we're a different type of show though too. You know what I mean? Like, we've got 3 longtime people that have been in the business for a while.
Yeah.
It's just a different visual for us. You know what I mean? Been doing this for 20 years. Maz's been doing it for 30 years. Braylon's been doing it his entire adult life as a player and now as a member of the media. You know, we're just a different type of show than some of the other ones. And I think that's what makes our network great, too. Yeah. It's not that we don't care about the chat at all. We love you guys. I love it when you're in there and you're mixing it up with each other. And there's things that I could pull from the chat from time to time. My eyes are not trained to go there during the course of a conversation.
Right.
It's hard to lead a show and watch the board as well.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to talk and read at the same time. For me, it is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna give you all that. Look, I got ADD. I can't afford to be looking down because if I get into a conversation, now I'm locked in this. Now you're gonna see the top of my head. I'm not gonna be able to pay attention to what's going on. So every once in a while I jump in there for fun, but that Maz is dialed into the conversation. Ryan does a much better job than we used to when we first started in 2021. So that's just not where I'm going because I get lost and then now I'm gonna forget what I want to say about certain topics.
And Paul's cool. I mean, Paul says that's good point, Ryan. I didn't mean to offend you, and it's not offensive to me. I completely understand it, and we've heard over and over that the chat would like to get us more involved. And I guess I would say I will try to do a better job of that because we do value each and every one of you in there. We do value you. I value you, Brave, Maz, KG, everybody, Pete, everybody. Certainly,
Joel.
Dude, thank you. Joel and James, we're all in this together, and we're all trying to put on a good show. If all the shows were the same, it'd be a boring network.
Yeah.
Also, too, I don't look at that chat because I'll put hands on one of y'all. Y'all say something I don't like. See, maybe you lucky. I don't look at the chat because y'all get out of pocket sometimes.
So, again, it's just a different type of show than maybe some of the other ones on the network, and that's okay. I mean, between the morning, the guys in the morning, the Wake Up Woodward guys, Neil in the afternoon with D-Mac and the heavyweights at night, everybody's got a different type of show.
Yeah.
And,
Go
love
ahead and
us or
say
hate
it.
us.
With the old show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're the old show, but I think we run things more traditionally than the other guys do.
Old school radio.
Yeah, it's an old school radio guys with a visual content, and it works for us. It's kind of up our alley. And we hope you enjoy it. We hope you take something out of it. But many times we're not yelling and screaming at each other and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We're just here talking sports. Yeah. We're just here mixing in a little bit of pop culture from time to time or what's happening in our lives and stuff like that. But we hope you enjoy it. And we hope you come back tomorrow. And there's more to come. So just wanted to point that out to you guys.
Nicely
We love
done.
you in the chat. So
I think that was a send-off right there.
all right, very good. We'll see you
That
tomorrow.
sounds
How about
good.
that for everybody here on the Ermanni,
Appreciate you.
Edwards, and Maz show? We will see you tomorrow
We appreciate
afternoon.
you.
Bye, guys.